What up, Corner Crew? Welcome to the Hip Hop Happy Hour podcast brought to you by the Culture Corner. It is our 1 year anniversary episode, so I gotta say, shout out to every single one of you that's been tuning in for the past year. We appreciate every one of you. You already know that. I tell you all the time. But I gotta give a special shout out to my homie behind the scenes, Anthony Gonzalez. He's been here since day one, every single episode. Gonzo, shout out to you, bro. He's the producer, director, everything. Hit him up for some AI artwork. He's amazing. Want to give a shout out to all my past guests, all my past co-hosts. We got nothing but love for y'all here at the Culture Corner. Thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for continuing to rock with us. And we got a lot more shit coming to you in the future. But let's start tonight's with a two-time guest as of now, Reef the Lost Cauze.
Yo, what's going on? How you feeling?
What's going on, bro? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me. What's going on with you?
It's been, grinding every day, working, trying to build, you already know. I want to congratulate you on all your recent accolades outside of hip hop.
Word.
All the things you've been doing for the community. You're one of the good guys.
Yeah, man.
You really are. And I just want to let us know what's been going on with you.
Yeah, man. I just been knee deep in this new record, man. You know what I mean? Just knee deep in getting this thing that I've had in my mind. You know, a lot of my albums are just kind of like fun side project type, just putting some stuff out there. And then I have albums where I really go hard and really buckle down and really try to like create something. Those would be the Feast of Famines or the Vicious Cycles or the Majestics. You know what I'm saying? Like the records, Right. So I'm in the middle of one of those right now. And it took a while to get going. I definitely was focused on a lot more things, but like the hunger came back full force as of late. So the writer's block or whatever you want to call it, the motivation is there now more than ever. And I've been trying my best to like, really kind of not. I took a month-long break from social media. I'm about to take another one. Getting better sleep, not drinking and eating bad as much. You know what I mean? Like really like all around just trying to get my shit together a little bit because it all helps when when it comes to the music. It all helps. It's crazy the difference. You know what I mean? When you just like aren't poisoning your body or mind with bullshit. You know what I mean? And that's not me being some judge, motherfucker, because I was drunk last night. But you know what I mean? Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta cleanse your body and mind sometimes. You gotta get all those bad cells out and let the new cells grow.
Right. It's all about balance, man. So, I've been just focused on that, man. I want to finish this record hopefully by the top of the summer so that we can have the summer to shoot videos and get everything ready for a fall release. And yeah, man, like so I have 2 projects right after that. A new EP with the Snow Goons, and then there's something else I'm not going to announce just yet. But so I got 2 projects after this one that I'll work on into next year. So I need that type of structure. I need to have like deadlines and dates in my head. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's just
I'm the same. I'm the same way. I need to have something to do, something to look forward to. Have it all written out in my calendar. The dates for this. Yeah. It's not idle hands, man. Idle hands.
Absolutely. And it's crazy how like when you write it all down, right? When you actually put it in front of you, like this is what I have to do on this day at this time. It really helps motivate you to be on point. So yeah, so basically, man, just my family. Obviously, you before we got on the call, you heard the chaos of my house, my family, and my music, man. And just trying to like stay afloat, bro.
Yeah, definitely. It's a beautiful chaos, though. It's a beautiful chaos.
For sure.
Yeah. I want to go back to what you were saying about you making albums albums. Mm-hmm. You mentioned the Majestic. And that's one of my favorites. That's probably maybe my second. Your favorite MC is my favorite record from you because it just goes hard. It's funny. Right. You just cutting people out. It's just that boom bap. And plus, I had Snow Goons on a couple months ago, and we were talking about that album and how good that your relationship with them is. But going back to the Majestic, you put a lot of yourself into that album.
Thank
What
you,
was
man.
that process like?
I think I just got sorry, my cats.
No worries.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Get out. Like motherfucker follow me in here and then once you know what I mean? And it's like let me out.
That's how
yeah, man, like I think I just got to a point. I mean, and I've always done it. I've always done it, from the beginning of my career. I've always tried to put myself and what I'm really going through out there. I think with the Majestic, the difference was that was almost the central theme of the album, where as other records were sprinkled with songs, about my relationship with my father or, my, struggles as an artist or, that type of shit. They'd be sprinkled with joints, Sound of Philadelphia, you know what I mean?
Right.
I think the vibe of the Majestic was much more introspective than anything I'd ever done, just because I kind of, how can I put this? So it flipped for me from a majority of songs that were just straight, banger hip hop raw shit with a few songs sprinkled in introspectively, to now where I feel more comfortable having more introspection within a few, hardcore banger type joints mixed in. And the reason that is I kind of outgrew a lot of that shit, bro.
Right.
I listen to a lot of shit from years ago and I'm like, there's a lot of gun talk, a lot of kill you, a lot of I'm the fucking, you know what I mean? And that's cool here and there. But even now, when I brag on some MC shit, I'm trying to be more rooted in reality. You know what I mean? I just feel like there's so many ways to express yourself without having to kind of like portray a character. You know what I mean?
Right.
Man, when you're in the game as long as I have, and you start to see motherfuckers that like are like the most super hardcore dude on records, but then in real life they're nothing like that. And I felt like I was guilty of that sometimes. You know what I mean? There would be references to, shooting shit up, and it's like that's not really who I am. So as I've gotten older, I felt more comfortable talking about the struggles of fatherhood and just real grown man rap, but not corny or preachy or fucking put you to sleep like, oh, woe is me. It's all real emotion. It's still got that fire to it, but it's just the subject's different.
Yeah, you can feel it. You can feel the emotion. You definitely can. Frank and Jerry, that goes right to, for me, that's my mom. That's what I think of because I lost my mom. I was 27. So I was still a young man, and I wasn't ready for that at all.
No.
Frank and Jerry, that every time I hear that song, that's my mom right there.
Yeah, man.
So I gotta thank you. I gotta thank you for that.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, around that time was like, it was just so much real life stuff going on with my grandfather passing and then my grandmother getting dementia. And then it was just like the things that I were writing, it was very therapeutic for me, man. You know what I mean? Like it was just like, it just came at the right time. So, that was that record. And I mean, this record is like, it feels to me like I don't know, man, this one is like, I'm starting to feel it's going to be, special. So I'm excited to get it done and get it out to the world,
Yeah, we're excited to hear it for sure.
Right.
For sure, we're excited to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely. Wanted to ask you another thing. When are you going to be going back on tour? Because we need to see a Reef out there on stage. I remember I've seen you quite a few times, and you bring a different type of energy to the stage. So
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I mean, that's a great question. I mean, right now I have so much tied at home as far as where I'm earning the most money at, where I'm most needed at has been home. And there hasn't been, I'll be honest with you, there hasn't been too many opportunities that felt like I would want to leave this to go out there and do. I'm hopeful that with the new record and the other projects that are coming, that by the end of this year into next year, I'll definitely be back. There's already some things lined up for the summertime. And I mean, honestly, brother, I'm just at a point, man, where it's like, I still do it for the culture. I still do it for the people. I'm still all about that. But having me and my DJ drive, 6 hours to rock at something that isn't up to standard for where we feel we
Right.
should be at. You know what I mean? It's just
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, bro? But I miss
Yeah.
it. I miss it. So I was thinking about it today, man. I miss it. There's nothing like it, bro. So it's like, the thing about it is there's nothing to tour off of. I kind of have to, and maybe that's where that hunger, the newfound hungers kind of come from, is I kind of have to like rebuild, because
Mhm.
if you're not dropping something every year consistently, people might forget. So I'm trying to come back with a vengeance. And there are so many things that are lining up slowly but surely around this new record and around other projects that we have coming, that it just feels like, it's one of those things where I'm trying to get the stars to align. And I hope that reflects in the shows. I want to do shows that are meaningful, that have, diverse, wonderful crowds,
Mm.
and there's no bullshit on the business end. And that really hasn't been the case lately. So for me, until that time comes again, and it will, hopefully in the next 6 months, I'll be back around. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. We're waiting with
Mhm.
money in hand and ready to buy some merch. And you gotta push it, dude. You gotta push yourself. You gotta, and like you said, you're more about being at home, and you develop yourself within your community.
Yeah,
Like
man.
you mean a lot to Philadelphia. You really
Thank you.
do.
Thank you.
And some people wouldn't see it that way, but you do. And you want to expand on that throughout. I can see how you carry yourself. Like you could be the voice of a whole entire generation if
Thanks.
people would just listen.
Right.
So
Yeah, man. I mean, it's
what are
like,
your thoughts on that?
yeah, I just think that you use your voice and you hope that the people hear it. So I've used my voice through music for a really long time. And I just have naturally started to use it more in the activism platforms, in the more teaching platforms.
Mm.
I just have a lot of family and friends who are already involved in the space, so it's a natural progression for me to be a part of mentorship programs and be a part of different organizations that are really trying to serve the youth of Philadelphia. And I'm a small part of a bigger thing. I think because I have a bigger profile, it gets a little bit more attention, but there's
Mm.
people doing, so much great work, and I'm just blessed to work alongside them. And it does feel good to know that, I mean, I think it's generally based around the music, but there's also people that um have love for me out of, what I try to do outside of that, you know what I mean? Outside in the real world. And that's
Right.
another thing about where the introspection and more thoughtfulness has trying to kind of come from through the writing is when you're in the world more and you experience more and you see more people's struggles, and you just become, at least you should, if you're not a piece of shit, you become more empathetic, you become more gentle, you know what I mean? And I'm trying my best to be like that in the world and in real life, and it's a struggle, you know what I mean? I come from a very, violent, turbulent background of a
Mm.
city and life, and you just try your best to be like a really good person, man. And like it can be difficult, but I think I've been given opportunities to help other people, whether it be through music or whether it be through actual on the ground work. So as long as those two things continue to help, I'll keep doing them.
Yeah, the real life work is more important in
Sure.
my eyes. It definitely is. It's more important than anything else because
Absolutely.
it's how you look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day.
Yeah,
You
man.
know, you could sell 10 million records, you can sell 12, 20 million, 50 million, but if you can't look at yourself
Right.
because you're, like you said, you're a piece of shit,
Right.
then what's it all for? You
Yeah,
know what I
man.
mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I think that's, I appreciate that perspective because I kind of have that same one. And my whole thing is that like there are some people that um are more than comfortable, being a piece of shit, and the
Mm.
money and the, whatever else is what, keeps them going. And listen, man, money's nice, man. Money's great, but I just think that not the illusion of it. It definitely can get you out of a jam. It definitely is good to have for expanding your life, in
Mm.
ways that you will want better for your children and things like that. But at the end of the day, it can't be the thing that you're like, that's your thing, is that I have more money than everyone. I
Right.
have more money.
You
Like,
can't
you
make
know
it
what I mean?
part of your personality. A lot of
Right.
that's what it
That
is now.
can't be when we're talking about impact, when we're talking about what you've really done for the world, for the planet, for the people. When we're talking about that, if all you can keep referring to is the money, then it's like, well, that kind of sums it all up for me. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that's single minded. That's single minded too. It's like it's so narrow minded in my view. But
Yeah.
want to switch it up a little bit. Let's get a little fun. Tales from the internet. Give us your most wild, crazy tale that you've had to deal with someone more recent than not on the internet.
I'm not sure if I told this one on the last one. I might have been with y'all, I might have been with somebody else, but did I tell about the well, if even if I did tell it, I'm telling it again because it's
Tell
that,
again, yeah.
yeah.
New people are watching.
So yeah, man, basically I 2016, 2017, 18. I mean, shit, really, yeah, just really like, yeah, like that was like the prime year. So like 2015, 16, 17, 18 kind of. I was one of these people, one of these idiots that engaged in the political spectrum debates on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And, if you know me, it's obvious which side, quote unquote, which is still always ridiculous to me,
It
the
is.
side you're on. But the more aesthetic of what I've leaned to, I dealt with a lot of insane Trump people. One of which was this dude Barrett, who I knew from grade school, who was always this creepy weirdo, just a fucking like head case nut job type of kid, and he only got worse as he got older. Long story short, man, like this dude went so far as to like one time I made a post about something, maybe regarding I don't know what it was about, but he came on there and he like started tagging the FBI.
Jesus Christ. That's wild.
He was in the comments like, FBI, this man is Antifa. Look at his page. Like, yo, it was wild. But the tour de force, the icing on the cake is he made a page and deep faked me onto Trump's face, and was like, there were like videos of me like I was, how they,
Yeah.
obviously,
Wild.
I'm not technical from my mishaps trying to get online with you earlier. I'm not a technical dude, but
Right.
it really looked. I had to laugh, bro. It was my fucking face on Trump's body dancing around to "Sound of Philadelphia," bro. Like he made like, oh,
That's crazy, bro. That's some dedication to hating on somebody for real.
So I've had a lot of shit go down on the internet. I've argued with a lot of people. I've had a lot of crazy requests. I've had a lot of, just outlandish shit happen. Not all the time, but there's been plenty. But to me, no one's ever made a page dedicated to me as like Trump, and I think he had me as like Alex Jones one time. It was all those guys.
Right,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? It was all
All
those
the
guys.
greatest hits. Yeah. He's got to get them rolling. That's wild.
So yeah. So Barrett, wherever you are, kid, like as much as I fucking hate you and want you to stay away from me, I thought that was pretty funny. I got to give it to him. That was pretty good. But it
It's
was also
creative and
bad shit crazy.
dedication.
Yeah.
Creative, dedication, and crazy. Put that together, man. They do anything. That shit's wild.
Yeah, man.
The way the culture is today, like outrage culture too,
Yeah.
to making people spin out, like the Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light cans.
Oh, right.
That's going on lately.
Right.
It makes no sense. It's like I don't understand why people are going so wild
Right.
over something that really doesn't mean anything in your life. Oh,
Yeah.
Kid coming in getting you.
Yeah, you already know. Yeah, man. It's like, I mean, and that's the thing about it is that like, I don't think people really understand the concept or even the definition of what like outrage is. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like you're complaining. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just, listen, I don't want any of the people watching to feel like I'm completely biased, because there are things that, you know, on the left, whatever you want to say, there's a lot of shit that people are pissed about on that side of the fence that I think is ridiculous. What are our priorities, man? What do we really want to change? And I think that was another thing that changed for me, B, is like being out there and actually boots on the ground, helping these kids, being in these communities, really out here feeding the homeless, you know what I'm saying? And not for no Instagram follows, not for no fucking likes, or really actually doing this shit. It made me feel like that shit, the arguing and posting videos, I can't believe, like, that shit made me feel like, yo, you're a fucking sucker if that's how you spending your time. Because the real shit is outside. Why are you not outside? You know what I mean?
It's because they don't care.
You sitting here writing dissertations on Facebook, and I was guilty of it myself, bro. You sitting here writing dissertations on Facebook and arguing with strangers at 3:00 in the morning. I mean, it was, it was insane those days, bro. Like, I'm glad that, like, it's kind of like people, I feel like people have kind of, there's still a lot of that energy, but it was, when it was at its height, bro, it was like, yo, it was like we were addicted to the beef of it all. It was such a spectacle, man, and like everybody fell for the shit. You know what I mean?
Controversy sells. Controversy sells, and the people that they don't really care about the real issues either.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. Like you said, if your boots on the ground, you out there and you're seeing what the day to day, the real day to day issue is classism.
Right.
That's one of the biggest issues we have in this country.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Classism is way, way, way up there, and if that doesn't change, then everything else is just going to keep going the same.
Because it's like, it's so easy to play. Unfortunately, there are people that have prejudices and biases that they were born with or raised with that they can't shake. I'm not talking about them, because fuck them. They can stay over there. But there are people that are of all colors, that are of the same class, that if we could just figure out the fact that those motherfuckers up top they just got us strangling each other while they just sit back and laugh, bro. They sit back and laugh while we argue and fight. You know what I'm saying?
And how they get us to fight is they throw a Bud Light can out there.
Right.
It goes right back to what we were just talking about. They throw a Bud Light can out there and they're like, here you go, fight, plebs. And we do. It's sad that we really do. I mean, some of us don't. Some of us stay far away from all that bullshit.
Sure.
But a lot of people.
I felt really good when I finally came around to like not being a part of that world anymore, man. You know what I mean? Like, I try to keep social media pretty light. Obviously, I'll post some things that, I think people might need to learn about or see. But for the most part, man, like, I just try to use it as a tool to keep in touch with my people, post about what's going on in my life, post pics of my kids, and keep it pushing. Because otherwise, that shit will have you, you see what it's doing. You know what I mean? Like, you see what it's doing to people, bro. So, yeah, man. And anybody watching, I definitely recommend. I'm not saying get off social media, because it can be helpful. It can definitely be, just a great tool. But definitely take breaks. Breaks are essential from this shit, man. Just clear that shit from your phone. Go a couple weeks to just be present, man. And it's amazing how much life improves when you kind of do that from time to time.
Yeah, people don't use it. People think it's their personal journal. It's kind of sad, but it really is used that way. It's used as a personal journal, and people throw their feelings out there. They throw their whole relationships out there. Like, I'm not gonna say no names, but like, somebody on my friends list recently threw out their whole relationship out there, and that was like the comment section. You 300 comments within an hour and a half, and people wiling. It just makes no sense to me.
Listen, bro. Listen, man. Like, between me and you, I mean, obviously between me, you, and the crowd.
Right.
I saw that. And I had my popcorn for that shit, because that shit was wild, bro. That shit was wild.
I was like, oh boy, like, why would you do that?
Yo, what do you think was going to come from that? I mean, I got a love for that kid, man. Like, he's a good kid, but like, I don't know him well enough to come on there and be like, yo, you should
no.
But, yo, that was crazy, bro. Like, that was wild. Like, that was one of those things where it's like, you know, you can't help but turn away from the car wreck type of thing, you know.
Right, yeah. Like,
So, but
yeah,
I wish him and his situation all the best. But that was like, yeah, that was one of those ones where you like, yo, what? I would never in my fucking life, no matter what's going on in my relationship,
never.
I could tell stories or jokes that we go through, but I'm not about to put nothing like that personal out there about my family, man. You know what I mean? And I think people need to like, like you said, it's not the personal journal. You use some sense before you post something. You know what I mean?
That's what it is. They don't think about reason and they don't think pragmatically. Like
No.
I'm pragmatic as fuck.
Yeah, man.
I'm trying to think 10 moves ahead. What's
Right.
going to happen if this happens?
Right.
How this is, I'm going to feel about this. But people don't do that nowadays. I don't know. Maybe it's a lost art. Maybe we're special. I don't know. But I don't understand how people don't think past
Right.
that next social media post.
Right.
It's really wild to me.
Yeah,
But
man.
let's move on to another topic. You were involved in this one last time you were on. What's your issue? It could be anything. Could be your biggest issue in the world. Could be something light. What's your
Um,
issue?
my issue is I mean, I guess since we're this was I was actually thinking about this earlier today, and I guess I can, because we just got done talking about the social media. My issue right now that I was thinking about is I don't like people that, and I'm taking this offline as well. I'm gonna make this a general statement. I don't like people that like to stir the pot. Does that I don't like people that like their whole thing
Instigating and
is like,
shit. Yeah.
if you know what I mean, like I'm gonna say something here that I'm saying it not because I believe it, not because it's something that I really want to talk about. I'm saying this because I'm trying to elicit some sort of reaction. You know what I mean? I don't like that shit in like I said, social media. I don't like that shit amongst friends. I don't like that shit in comedy. I don't like that shit. I don't like people that I'm trying to seem controversial. I'm trying to make people upset or argue amongst themselves. That's my goal. And I see a lot of that shit, and it feels super sinister. It feels super like Mr. Burnsy. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna stir the pot. I'm gonna get people upset. I'm gonna get people riled up, or I'm gonna, say something that's gonna make a situation awkward. You know what I mean? I don't understand that type of energy, man. I don't understand that type of vibe where it's like everyone's just kind of like trying to chill, enjoy themselves, be with their family. They don't want any trouble. They just want to live in peace and harmony. And you have people out here that are like, how can I do something that's going to make someone upset? You know what I mean? So that's my issue, man. What's up with like just being cool and like, you know, having real genuine conversations and having real genuine emotions and being like just like good human beings? Like, why the fuck is everybody on some like, I don't know, it just feels like being a dick has become like kind of in style, and I don't like it.
It,
It makes me feel
it,
icky, you know?
I think it's because everyone thinks that if they get videotaped doing something, being a dick to somebody, that they'll become viral and they'll make it, and quote unquote make it in the
Right.
world. It
Right.
really is. It's like everyday normal people chasing clout in their
Yeah.
own mind.
Yeah, the cloud chasing is just
Oh,
it's just, it's classless, man. Like, I just that's a word that I feel is just kind of like, you brought it up in a different context, but I bring it up in the other context of class, not meaning a group of people. I'm talking about class as far as like etiquette and
exactly.
like, just like, somebody hold the door for you, you say thank you or nod, or like, I don't know, I just the common courtesies that have kind of like disappeared. um they it makes me sad. It makes me sad. So that those, I know that's kind of like one word salad of issues, but yeah, just the general, my issue is just the general, way that people operate these days. That's my issue. It just feels there's so much wickedness, you know. So
There is. You're right. You're absolutely right.
yeah,
People don't move. People don't move the right way anymore. Like when we were kids, if you scuff somebody's sneaker, you were getting slapped,
right,
right?
right,
Nowadays, there was a kid that's on the internet. He's a YouTuber. He got shot doing a prank on somebody. His pranks are walking up to you in the grocery store and taking all your bags out of your carriage and walking away. Now, how crazy is that? How have we gotten to a point where these kids think it's okay to walk up on a perfect stranger, a female, snatch their purse, run down the hall, and they say, "Oh no, it's just a prank." So
yeah,
this kid got shot. He's lucky he's alive. The kid shot. I think he shot him twice. He shot him once in the stomach and once in the
right,
shoulder.
right,
But
yeah, yeah, and it's
what is
crazy.
wrong with these kids?
Yeah, man, and it's crazy because you know it's fucked up, man. But like you know, that kid is probably sitting in the hospital, like, yeah, I'm
Exactly.
viral.
And the
You know
thing,
what I
he's got it
mean?
on
Like,
camera. He's got it on camera too. So unless you have to turn all that over to the police, but
it's
it's
crazy,
like,
bro.
why? What? Like, I'm like speechless almost about it because when we were kids, you would get into a fight over bumping into somebody.
Right?
Like, I don't understand why these kids. It's not even really kids. It's anyone that's like that 30 and younger,
Yeah,
30 to 22, 30 to 18 range.
yeah,
Like, who raised these kids, man? I don't
it's
get
crazy.
it. I
Yeah,
really don't get it.
hmm
But I want to wrap it up a little bit early tonight because I know you got your family thing going on, but I want you to push everything you got coming up. Let us
yeah,
know what's going on with Reef the Lost Cause.
yeah. So yeah, new album will be out this year. Date and title and all that jazz coming in the next couple months, which is exciting. Um, New record with the Snow Goons will be out right after that. So that is that I can we so that we were either gonna call it Return of the Box Cutter Samurai, or we were gonna call it Violence Isn't the Answer, but Sometimes It Is, which I kind of like a little bit more. I like
I
that.
like
I
that
like
one
that.
too. I like
I
that
like
one too.
So it might be called that. And then there's another project I'm doing with an old friend of mine. We're just in the talking about it stages, so it would be super corny of me to announce anything until we really get the ball rolling. Um, so yeah, I got in the next year and a half, there will be, 3 new projects. I say projects because I'm one of those people that still considers albums to be like 12 tracks.
Right.
And these projects, the project with the Snow Goons and the other project I'm talking about will probably be like, on a 7 to 8 track tip. But I guess those are albums. So yeah, I got 3 albums in the next year and a half. Yeah, other than that, reefthelostcause.com, reefthelostcause.bandcamp.com. Bandcamp is still the number one for
Yes, it
me as
is.
far as if you want to get some of my shit, merch or whatever. I'm on all those streaming sites. And yeah, just look out for the new music, and I will continue to be out here putting on for the people and trying to do it correctly, man. That's all I want to do. When it's all said and done, I just want them to say he did it correct. You know what I mean?
And they're saying it. I'm telling you right now. I see it. I keep my eyes on it. I see you do every day. You're always making moves for your community, and that's the biggest thing.
Thank
Like
you,
you
sir.
said, at the end of the day, you're one of the good guys. You really are.
Thank you, brother.
And
I
I've
appreciate
followed
it.
your career basically since the beginning because
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think
You've
I
been
think I might be a little bit older than you, but I'm not sure. I'm
yeah,
not going to ask your age. But
yeah.
yeah, I've been
Oh
following
no,
since the
I'm
beginning.
41. I'm 41.
Yeah,
I'll be
I'm
42 in December.
43. Yeah, I'm
Okay, yeah,
43. So yeah, I've been following your career since the beginning. You have evolved. You were
right,
that kid. You were that kid coming out there all hard at everybody, and
right.
now you're that dad that's taking over the world. So we gotta love you for it, man. Gotta love you for it.
Thank you.
Again, everyone, thank you for tuning in. 1 year down. We got another year coming.
Oh yeah, congratulations to y'all, man.
Thank
That's
you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Listen,
Thank
man,
you.
like it's anybody that can do something for a year straight. Like you got to give them mad props, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
Because
you.
it's hard to keep that going. So congrats,
It really,
congrats.
it is. It is. Like I said, it's a daily grind too. It's
Yeah,
not
man.
like we're just coming on Thursdays and
Nah,
just going. It's
you put it
always
together.
something's always happening. But again, shout out to you. Shout out to everybody that was watching. Shout out to everyone that will watch. Stick with us. Go to Reef the Lost Cause Bandcamp. Cop all his shit. Cop all his merch. Sell that shit out, please. And tune in with us next week. That's all I got to say. Peace.
Peace.